Hi there, it's Sherry Shattuck, aka Catherine in Death Spa. If you thought I was scary then, you should see me now. So Tommy wanted to let me know that all he really wants is a good interview and a blowjob, to which I respond, who doesn't? So I know you're wondering, like me, which one Tommy will get. So tune in soon and enjoy the show.
Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I will be welcoming the gorgeous, talented, sexy Fabiana Udenio. You all know her as a lot of vagina in Austin Powers' International Man of Mystery, but she was also Anna Maria in Summer School, that teen cult classic that the late, great Carl Reiner directed. We're going to do a little tribute to him today. We're going to talk about those. We're going to talk about her in Bride of Re-Animator and a bunch of other great stuff that she did. And I can't wait. It is just going to be an honor and a half to talk to Fabiana Udenio. I am just so damn lucky. Also, I'd like to say happy birthday to another guest of mine and Carl Reiner's granddaughter-in-law, Tracy Reiner, who was one of my earliest guests. Happy birthday, Tracy, and I hope it's a good one despite the sadness that you've had this year. So, here is my interview with Fabiana Udenio.
Hello.
Hey, Fabiana, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yes, this is such a great honor. Thank you for taking the time today.
My pleasure.
Yes. So, going back in time, I was reading that you were born in Argentina and moved to Italy at the age of 13, where you made your theater debut in The Tempest. But had you always gravitated toward acting before that?
Yes, well, I actually moved back to Italy when I went to Italy. My parents moved back to Italy when I was six or seven.
Oh, okay.
So my upbringing was in Italy. My formative years were in the schools in Italy. And yes, and I was gravitated towards acting and acting classes at an early age, before 13, yes. I initially won a beauty pageant at 12, Miss Teenager. It was Miss Teenager of Italy, and then I was cast by this famous theater director, very prestigious European theater director, Splat, as the Madame the Tempest, and that was pretty much my calling card that followed me for the rest of my life, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you played Miranda in The Tempest. Did you get great notice about it?
Yes, because I was so young, and in a theater production that was very prestigious. We came to the Olympic Arts Festival in 1984 to Los Angeles with the same rendition of The Tempest. We were here in 1984 as guests of the Olympic Arts Festival during the Los Angeles Olympic Games in 1984, and then we were in Paris for the Théâtre d'Europe opening, start of the Theater of Europe, and then Milan and Florence and Rome. So it was a great experience, and forever shaped me, as many others did for different areas of my professional upbringing. But that one was the first. I was very young, and it was wonderful. Hard to come down from that, actually.
Yeah.
It's a hard one to forget, but to live up to.
I can imagine, yeah. Did you immediately fall in love with Los Angeles?
When I came to Los Angeles, I did, actually. Well, I was already liking, if you like, film. I did love theater. Theater was my passion, but of course, gravitating towards anything coming from the United States as far as actors. I remember watching Meryl Streep in Kramer versus Kramer.
Mm-hmm.
Remember how old I was, but I just, I might have been very young. My parents may have been going through a divorce themselves. Who knows? But that was etched in my brain. rain and anything. So when I came with the Tempest, we came to Los Angeles and New York. Actually, I'm forgetting. We also went to a theater festival in New York City and upstate New York. Yes, I didn't know I was going to come back so soon, that long, but I did love Los Angeles, and I remember there were people showing us around, and when I was taken to, I didn't like Santa Monica very much. I wasn't that impressed. I like it now, but at the time I was. So I remember this kid said, "Okay, and I'm going to take you to a better spot that you're going to love." And so he took me to Laguna. And I went, wow, now this is really neat. And so, yes.
I love the Santa Monica Beach and Pier the most about it.
Yeah, no, now I like it now, but for some reason I was expecting more of a nature feel. You know, maybe the cars so next to the beach. I don't know why, or maybe the weather wasn't nice when they took us, or maybe just being in a bus wasn't the same as just taking a convertible and said, "I don't want to show you around." This kid said, "Okay, I'll take you," and then he took me down to Laguna with some friends of his. They were surfers or something. So that's when we did when we performed at UCLA. Actually, the Royce Hall. I remember going on one of my son's field trips with his school to UCLA. I had never been inside the grounds of the university, and I saw the theater again, and it brought back a lot of memories of being here so long ago with the Tempest. So, yes.
Nice. About 6 years before that Los Angeles experience, though, did you do a movie in Italy called Boarding School?
Yeah, I did do a movie called the movie. Yes, I did. That was in. We shot that in Germany or Austria, actually.
Oh, okay.
That's Nasia Kinski. Yeah. There's a few little secrets of my past. I did that. That was shot in English. So, see, you're bringing back memories. I was already looking to good at language. I was generally good in school and generally good at languages, but I was already thinking, English would be good and I could be international with dancing and singing, and so I was cast in that. Yeah, was that before or after I won Teenager? I can't remember. You know what? It was before. Before it was before. I remember coming back from that trip and going to the beauty pageant and winning that. Then I was cast in the Tempest. So those things happened pretty much back to back. And of course, I was very young when I was cast in Tempest, and then when we came here in 1984, it was the same rendition that we kept re-proposing, the same edition. We kept performing it again, doing it again. So I was older when I went to Paris, and when I came to the United States, I was, yes.
Did that play have a long run?
It had a long run, yes. We, after a couple of years, we'd do another tour. That's when we went to France, and then in 1984, we were invited to the Olympic Arts Festival. But we would go like six months in Rome, and then 4 months in Florence. So it did. Yes.
Nice. And so you moved to Los Angeles, and was your first American movie Hardbodies 2?
That one actually, it was, oh my goodness, I've forgotten all that stuff. I did Hardbodies 2 in Italy. I was cast in a soap opera, One Life to Live, from Italy. And then they offered me a 1-year contract to go to New York and be regular for a year on One Life to Live, which I did. I moved to New York for that year. And then after that, I fell in love with one of the actors. And then I came to Los Angeles with him for a little bit. And then I went back to Rome, and I got Hardbodies 2, so I shot that in Greece. It was an American movie, but I was cast out of Europe for that, and shot in Greece. And then I stayed a little bit more, and then I came back to Los Angeles to visit my boyfriend at the time, and also to see the sea. You know, I had done the soap opera, and I'm casting director, so I had a year on the soap, and so that's when I got summer.
Wow, nice. Yeah, it's funny that you were in Hardbodies too, because your co-star from Bride of Re-Animator, Kathleen Kinmont, who's a friend of mine and a frequent guest on this show, she was in the first Hardbodies.
That's true. I just saw that. I don't know how. Yes, I didn't. I don't think we talked about it when we did Re-Animator. I don't think we mentioned Hardbodies, but yes, she was in the first one. That's true, and I didn't know that. Yes.
Yeah, it's a funny coincidence. So, summer school, how does that come into your life?
That came pretty fortunate to have that come into my life, because as I said, I came back to Los Angeles with an H-1 visa, which is a working visa that I still had from New York, from the soap that I'd done.
Mm-hmm.
I found an agent doing some general with casting directors because I had taped from the soap opera that I'd done. And I auditioned I went to this audition. The role was originally written for a Danish foreign exchange student.
Huh.
And they just turned it into an Italian. There was a room full of people. I didn't have it. Oh, yeah, maybe I did meet the casting director first. And then he said, you're very young and you're very mature. Just think younger. Just think you're European. Just think younger. Just think younger. More American. Generally, Europeans have a tendency to mature a little. So that was the note of the casting director. Just think these kids are really goofy. And so I went to the callback, and it was a room full of people. Rainer was there, of course, and George Shapiro, the producers, and my audition scene was a very cute scene that ended up being cut from the movie. It was sort of along the lines of when Anna Maria goes to the beach and wants to take her top off, because that's what she's used to doing when you're gonna. And so she was. So there is a scene where she's lying with the two chainsaw and David chainsaw, and they're putting massage and they're putting scent and lotion on her, and she all of a sudden goes, "Okay, let's all go to the water," and they all go into the water, and they want to marry her, and there were these huge waves, and very, very fun scene with her. This showed her free-spirited nature with her like totally being so taken by her. So that scene was eventually cut. But I remember getting a really big laugh on one of the lines that I ended up ad-libbing a little something, and that got a really big laugh and from everyone, and I had a lot of energy. And I think a week later they said, "You got the role," and that was it. And then I knew Rainer was important, but I hadn't seen any of his movies yet or any of his history as a comedian. And once I got cast, I had the opportunity to have a little time before the movie started, and so I watched all of the movies he directed, all of the movies with Steve Martin. I remember, I'll never forget The Jerk. That movie that I'll never forget it. And then I tried to look at some of his work as an actor, and so I did a little research on him. And then I realized even more how fortunate I was. Well, first it was like, oh my God, I got a movie I'm going to shoot at Paramount, Hollywood, and just the whole. And then actually realizing the scope of the value of the people I was going to be working with, especially Rainer. So it was very nice.
Yeah, I got to interview his granddaughter through marriage, Tracy, a few years ago when I started this podcast, and he, in my opinion, represents the holy trinity of post-vaudeville comedy, in which he came up, in the Borscht Belt circuit post-World War II, and he was just a brilliant writer. I don't think he got fully appreciated as a performer, not until maybe when he did the 2,000-Year-Old Man with Mel Brooks, which I was lucky enough. Me and my best friend, we performed. Not that routine. It was the other one he did with Sid Caesar, the Professor Ludwig von Spacebrain routine for our speech therapy class when we were 10, and we got a standing ovation.
Oh, how cute. What do you mean speech therapy?
So we were in special ed class because we have attention deficit disorder and Asperger's and what have you. And we had to take these, they call them speech therapy classes, where basically what they are is just kind of a social study, extra help class. And we had to put on a performance piece. And so we had a day to come up with what we were going to do. And so I knew right off the bat I wanted to do that bit. And so I had like 5 minutes to teach him it outside. And then when we did it, it was magnificent, and it got a standing ovation.
Wonderful. And you were 10?
I was 10, yeah.
Oh, my God. A wonderful memory. How neat.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite memories.
Right? Those things that come back, and now with him passing, and you reminding me all of these things so long ago, it's like you get filled with nostalgia, which is not exactly what you want to carry all day, but anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
How was working with Mark Harmon?
Oh my God, he's a total gentleman. I remember I didn't even have a car back then in Los Angeles, because I had just gotten here. I didn't have an American driver's license, so I didn't have So I was often many of the cast members would take me home at the end of the shoot because when I was living with my boyfriend, who became my husband at the time, so he would maybe take me and then I would come home. And I remember there were payphones. I had to call my boyfriend to tell him, maybe I'll be done in an hour. Can you come pick me up? But I didn't have, there were payphones at the time, so waiting for the. And then I remember this episode when he said, "Oh, I didn't have change." I said, "Oh, no, don't worry." And he put in his calling card at the time, and he helped me out with that. And he's a very, very, very smart. I think he's very, unlike the character he was playing, very down to earth and very responsible. Just very.
And of course, oh my God, Dean Cameron, Gary Riley, they steal the movie.
So fun. That's when, I think when they meant younger, because I have a tendency, I was very mature at the time as well. And these guys were goofing around on the set all the time. And it was nice to reconnect with them on Facebook once Carl passed away. I said, oh my goodness, again, you get all these memories rushing back. And so I was searching for people and what pictures do you have, and so I kind of reconnected with Dean and what I'd seen Shawnee before at events, but also Richard Horowitz, the other character, I can't remember his.
Which one?
EQ.
Oh, Ekian, yeah.
Yes, Ekian, yes.
Richard Horowitz.
Richard Horowitz. We reconnected with him too, and it was nice to see them, and Ken
Oland.
So it was nice to see them go through their pages and see where they're at now in their lives, all that.
Yeah, I tried to get Dean Cameron on. He said, this was like in the beginning, he said, can we wait till the first of the year? And I apologize if I come off like a dick saying that.
The first of the year of 2021?
Of 2018. This was back in 2017. He said that.
Oh.
And then I reached out to him beginning of 2018, and he says, "But I haven't had what did he say? I haven't had a long career. Maybe wait until I'm actually a has-been," which is something I get sometimes from people. They think I only interview has-beens. I don't.
Oh my goodness! I didn't research that. It's always fun to do an interview. So no, I didn't.
Yeah, no. I talk to people who are still working, but I love their past work because I think it's a lot better than entertainment that goes on today, you know. I mean, they can talk about their entertainment today, but just the old stuff is just the classics never die, you know.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I never want to be as a person or as a performer. Oh, what we did back then was better. I like to look to the future and appreciate what's going on now and who I am now as an actor, as a person. But certainly when these great figures pass away or go, like Ennio Morricone a couple of days ago, this Monday, the famous Italian composer, and that it certainly leaves you with a lot of sadness. And I know it's a piece of our hearts, that our memories, collective memory that goes away. So yeah.
Yeah. Every time I talk to somebody from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I always bring up that scene where you guys are watching the movie in the classroom, and Robin Thomas says, "Good God, what's this?" And Mark Harmon says, "It's a film from the district on the use of the safety use of power tools."
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. That's funny. That's a funny line.
They all love it. Yeah, they're all flattered by that too. I also love the courtroom scene, you know, where Dave's got that fake ID. He was a black Marine in 1968.
That was so cute. That's what, all those things that I forgot about all these things. I haven't rewatched the whole thing in a while, many years actually, so cute.
Yeah, tell me about the classic scene where you guys are all slaughtered and you're like hanging with a knife in you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of makeup for everyone, yes, a lot of special effects and makeup, and it was actually a little bit more complicated, I guess, to stage it because everything had to come together. But then again, the set in general was a very entertaining and creative environment, and there was no tension or pressure that you feel sometimes on sets of getting things done on time or getting it right. It was a really, really wonderful environment. Again, it comes from the top down, and you have to hand it out to Carl Reiner. I wish I had worked more, or I wish I hadn't cut that scene, so I could see it now, what I had done or what it was. But that it was always, even though some things were like maybe it was cold at the beach when you get into the water, everything was, you felt that you were taken care of and respected and welcome. And I don't know, that's the way I felt. It was my first Hollywood movie, and I felt like I was being somehow protected, like a father figure. Anything that everything was going to work out, anything you needed, from the table reading to the set, that's the feeling that I got shooting that movie. It really, and then I was watching an interview that somebody sent me with Carl and Mark, and Carl Reiner was actually saying how blessed the movie was, that everything was coming together perfectly, even the dog, and the ending of this. He was talking about how the movie ended, and with the dog getting in the middle, trying to get the ball and kissing both Kirsty and Mark.
Yeah.
And all of that was happened. Nobody told the dog to do that. It was just spontaneous, and many other things that he was talking about that just happened to fall into place wonderfully in that movie.
Yeah, there's no better way to end that movie with that part. It was the best accident that could have happened.
Right? Yeah. So Carl Reiner mentioned that on this talk show that I've seen before. Somebody sent it to me.
Yeah. I was supposed to interview Robin Thomas a few months ago, too, and then something happened. I never heard back, but if I get to, I'll tell him you said hi.
Yes, please do, of course.
Yeah, and I'm supposed to interview Amy Stock, who played Mark Harmon's girlfriend at the beginning of the movie, who ended up going to Hawaii alone.
Oh, that's right. I was thinking about that. It's true. Yes, and then she comes back and we took up with the feature.
Yeah, Kelly Jo Minter, oh, she is so good in that movie. I mean, she really brings a lot of depth to her character, not being able to read.
Yes, exactly. And how many elements in that movie just effortlessly are still relevant. So nice, yes. How big of a problem is that? Even more than it was back then. We have even more special education needs with all the several components that cause some neurological deficits in children growing up. Yes.
Mm-hmm, absolutely, whether dyslexia, illiteracy, stuff like that.
Yes. Yes. Autism or attention deficit disorder, and all things that can require special education services. Yes.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. And then I remember you were on Full House.
Yes. After that, I did Full House. Well, the movie was written by
Jeff Franklin.
And he was the executive producer of Full House. I remember him very well at the audition as well. And throughout the shooting of the movie, he was very present. And then, yes, and I got to, and I did I get shot on Full House shortly after that.
Yeah, that was like the first. That was like one of the first episodes too.
Was it? Oh, I don't remember. Was it? I did. Okay.
Yeah, and they were still in the Friday night time slot too.
Oh my goodness! Which was that better or worse? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yes, they got upgraded to a better time slot, or?
I personally like the Friday night time slot, but then they moved over to Tuesday night for like the last 4 years.
Oh, okay. I see. How long did that show run? Forever.
From 87 to 95, and then they did the revival on Netflix from 16 all the way till Lori Loughlin's scandal last year. So they'll do it obviously now because of quarantine.
Yes. Well, things are starting up again, but who knows? The numbers going up again. Coincidentally, I have a sitter that went out with his son swimming, and she's a student at LMU, beautiful girl, and she's 19, and she's looking at the possibility of LMU doing classes only online, and she's a theater major. So she goes, well, I can do science online, but how can I do theater and dancing? I go, oh my goodness, of course not. And it's so funny because during this pandemic, I'm thinking, how would this have affected my life if it would have happened when I was 20 years old? I would have been pretty pissed. There you have a career, then you're dancing and doing theater and dreams and traveling and everything that will not happen. I would have been. So I feel very, very deeply for 20-year-olds, 19, that age group from 17 to 25 when you want to spread your wings and do things. And you're so...
Yeah, we're living in like the Great Depression, for the 21st century.
It is very, in that age, I think if you're like 9, 10, 11, or even younger, maybe you don't. Also horrible, but it doesn't affect you as much as when you want to get out there and do things. I mean, at least that's what it would have been so frustrating to not. I don't know. I would have been pretty pissed.
How was guest starring on Cheers?
My goodness, so much fun. That was cute. That was everybody in that closet. Well, I had worked with Kirsty, of course, before. You're bringing back a lot of memories. No wonder people don't want to do your show. It's nostalgic. It was good. It was intimidating a little bit. I think it was one of my first. Well, I had done Full House, but shooting with the live audience, I ended up loving that medium a lot because of my theater background and the combination of camera work and live audience. I ended up liking doing sitcoms, and I would love to do that recurrently now. I mean, if I could, if that probably would be my first choice right now, because so it was, yes, it was fun, and it was interesting to play as airhead as you can, as which usually requires work. The best is when you put your intelligence to work for something to play an airhead, and have to work at it, and to be so naive and gullible, and that was. And when I see it, I think, oh, that's pretty good, pretty cute, and everybody in that class, and of course,
yeah.
Everybody when you get people that are truly talented, that are truly confident, that's when you have the best time, because they're team players and they want everybody to. They're generous actors. I believe the more successful and the more talented, the best environment it is, especially for a guest actor. When you're a guest and you're guest starring, it is very important how the regular cast members approach you and treat you.
And then, of course, comes the aforementioned Bride of Re-Animator.
Yes. Yep.
How did you get cast in that?
With an audition, just to, I think, one audition. I don't think there were many callbacks. It's one-shot audition, right, for the producers. Just read through a few scenes and that kind of that. That was interesting horror. It's I guess good to have a range. But to work out on my screen, that's the only horror movie that I've done.
Yeah, must have been shot pretty quick, huh?
Was it shot pretty quick? Not excessively in a rush. I think it was about 4 or 5 weeks. I think, for a sort of medium budget, I don't know if you consider medium budget, it was not excessively in a rush. I think they
Yeah, Kathleen told me the hours and hours she spent, having that makeup put on her.
She certainly spent hours in makeup. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. She's like, I'm never doing this again.
She said that? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I had Brian Usna on back in February, I think, and I asked him maybe 5 questions the entire time. He kept giving me these 20-minute answers, and we finished just under 2 hours. He was a great guy, though, very informative, I have to say.
Yes, very informative about the movie, or in general about the process of shooting movies, or are you a horror movie fan?
I'm a huge horror movie fan, yeah.
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
Yeah, he gave me a lot of information about his movies. When I first started this podcast, it was mostly horror themed, and then I decided not to limit myself, decided to go for everything, but it's still instrumentally a horror and sci-fi show, big time. I love the genre, yeah. And how was Jeffrey Combs to work with?
I can't remember many details of all that. Maybe I can't remember. Very prepared, very creative.
Mm-hmm. I met him at a convention. He's a very interesting guy.
Very interesting guy, very creative, very serious, and very prepared. Sort of a. Does he have a theater background?
I'm sure he does. He sure acts like he's in the theater when he does a movie.
Yes, so that's what I was wondering. Yes, so very theatrical, and that works well for what he was doing, for the character, wonderfully. Yes.
And Bruce Abbott, he's a great guy.
Very sweet. Very sweet.
Yeah. he and I, we had a nice conversation at that same convention. He actually, did you know he actually dated Kirstie Alley?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he got cast as a bad guy in this low budget movie called Tag: The Assassination Game, and he was dating Kirstie Alley at the time, who was up for the part of the female love interest, and Linda Hamilton ended up getting it. And then he ended up breaking up with Kirstie like halfway through, and then he married Linda Hamilton for a few years.
That's what I remember at the time when I was doing. He was married to Linda Hamilton at the time.
Right.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. He told me, he says, I should have married Kirstie, though. She wouldn't have gained weight and did that stupid show, Fat Actress.
Oh. He said that?
He said that, yeah. Yeah. I don't think he was fat shaming, though.
No. I'm just wondering, why does he think that marrying him would have changed the course of his life? Interesting. I don't know. It's just an interesting thing to say.
I don't know, but he's married to Kathleen Quinlan now.
Oh, he is, for a long time, right?
Probably about 20 years or so, yeah.
Oh, okay. So the marriage with Linda Hamilton didn't last very long.
No, I know she's been married at least 4 times, including James Cameron.
Right. Yeah, 4 times.
Yeah.
He got 2 to go.
Yeah.
He got way ahead of me. I was only married twice.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot, but it's not.
Yeah, I've been married 0 times.
It's good. It's much better to do it right the first time and make it last. That's the whole idea.
Exactly. Do you remember doing an episode of Freddy's Nightmares?
Oh my God! See, yes, that I was thinking, did I do more horror than that? I guess I did. I do remember that, and I think in the character they kept my name for some reason. They liked my name. They changed the character's name to Fabiana, and Fabiana something. Yes, yeah, that was fun. That was shot fast. I remember that I had a lot of scenes, and I had never seen that again. I wonder if I've never seen that episode ever since. Some of the stuff is not easy to find online, and all my tapes and all the things got lost, so I don't have access to a lot of my earlier work unless I can find it online.
I think they did put this show out on DVD, but I think it may be out of print. I'm not sure, though. I'd have to do my research on that, but yeah, I think so.
Just to tell you that if you don't watch it again, it's kind of hard to remember exactly. I just know that
Mm-hmm. Did you play a Sunblock Woman in RoboCop 2?
Yes. That was fun. The audition was fun. I think I missed. I said pint. You say pint or pint? How always I get them confused. Apply a pint or a pint. A pint, right?
Yeah.
Is it a pint or pint?
It's pint.
Right. Okay, so thank you, because I know that when I did the audition, actually on tape, I said pint, and I was telling my boyfriend that became my husband at the time. I said, no, I think I did really great, and this is what I did: just apply a pint. And he starts laughing at me, and I go, why are you laughing? I did great. And they told me I did, because you said pint. And what? So I mispronounced that word, but they didn't care. They figured I could fix that. Yes. So that was neat. It's a neat one to have. Every time I see it, it seems like such a far-fetched idea, and now it actually is. We're almost there. With many of the things that are happening, we're almost there. It's at science. This 2020, it's been like a horror/science fiction nightmare year so far. So hopefully we're halfway through. Hopefully it'll get better.
Yeah. How about In the Army Now?
That one I saw recently. Somebody sent it to me, so I got a chance to see that recently. And you appreciate it after when you say, oh my God, look at that. And the memories come back more when you get to see actually the work you've done. Otherwise, years go by and thinking your life. And, yes, that was fun. It was a fun set. Yes.
Pauly Shore.
Shore on the bed. it was nice. Yeah, and then the whole scene in the video store, I just got to see it not too long ago. I'd forgotten, and then yes, it was nice.
Yeah. And now we get to a lot of vagina.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
The comedy, although coming from such a dramatic background, stage, and then I got to do a lot of comedy in the United States. It's nice,
Mm-hmm.
Comedy is hard. Comedy is very hard, especially, yes, like free falling when you're auditioning or when yes. But yes, a lot of vagina. Well, I always talk about getting the audition for that role, which is getting the call from your agent, and you're reading for that. You're going at the time. It was actually a phone call, and you downloaded sites, or you went to pick them up. Actually, they would leave them downstairs for you, and you actually physically pick them up before so much faxing. And he said, well, you're reading for this Mike Myers, and I know him, and the role is a lot of vagina. And I go, okay, really? Are you sure this is legit? I mean, I'm thinking that I didn't say anything, but just getting that and go, are we sure this is a legitimate project? Or so, reading the script without really the amount of vision that was put into, without seeing it performed, it's very hard to imagine how funny it turned out to be, and how clever and how iconic, this from the wardrobe to the music to the lines to ultimately the character that he invented with his comedic genius. And it's very hard on the page. It didn't quite read that funny. So yes, that was an easy part to get. That was casting director, the John Papsi there, yes, I think, and just with the casting director on tape. That was it. That's how they cast the role.
Mm-hmm.
And then I met, once I got cast, then I met Jay Roach. They very carefully, even for my character, I had lunch with him and he explained to him the vision. They really had a strong vision behind it. That was obviously then you see it, and then you can't tell when you're reading the script. Not often you get to have lunch with the director when you're playing a supporting role, and for him to tell you, I think you should watch this and this, and all the movies he wanted me to watch, and the research he wanted me to do, which is wonderful. That's and then ultimately you're doing comedy, but there was all that preparation that you're doing a parody of something that you really know, and you can take it one notch higher or lower, or you can do a more naturalistic approach, or whatever it is that the director asks you to do, because he put in the time. So a wonderful experience, yes. He's wonderful, very serious at the time. When we had lunch, I go, oh my goodness, how this person very serious going to direct a comedy. So see, that you never know. And Mike himself is very shy in person.
Mm-hmm.
So
I talked to Mindy Sterling, who played Frau Farfisna. She's very serious in person too, off camera.
Yeah. Okay. See.
Yeah.
But Mike's certainly shy and serious, and Canadian, so very polite, almost soft-spoken, shy, and then wow, right?
Yeah.
And how do you keep a straight face when you see? I don't know if I saw him full guard before I actually, because probably the first day I saw him, he was already awesome. So I think it was like, whoa, now I get it. So now I understand with the teeth and all. Yes. A
Yeah.
lot of funny memories in that movie, especially that bathtub with all his hair floating. So at the end of the shoot the day, there was hair flowing all over. It wasn't exactly the sexiest thing, you know, his hair would come off. But wonderful stuff. Really, really, yes. And when you're getting in and out of the bathtub, I remember I was wearing a little bodice. That's why I look so, one of the reasons I look so voluptuous is because I was actually wearing a little thing that was pushing everything up. So it looked, yes. So, but it's nice to have people that are respectful, and I'm grateful to have had those experiences, and respectful and caring, and want to make you feel comfortable, and it's coming from the top, and then it permeates the crew, and so both Jay and Mike were very, very respectful of, so it was very, it was creative, when I had the striptease under that thing, even that felt very comfortable. I can't remember the details, but just remember really making me feel comfortable so I could be creative and let go, So
Yeah, you two did a good job in that hot tub scene. It's just so hilarious. The men come first, the women come second, or sometimes not at all.
Very, very, yeah. Some of those lines, sometimes I remember going to dinner with a friend of mine, and that knows me well, and he had a friend, and but he had never met me, and maybe he didn't know I was an actress, it was just a casual, and then he starts quoting the film, and I go, and I go, yeah, sure, and I go, it's from a movie, and I go, of course I know. He starts telling me, quoting the movie, and I go, of course I know. And I look at my friend, and I go, no, he doesn't know. He didn't know I was in the movie. And so that was the most flattering thing that could ever happen to me. He's quoting, didn't recognize me from the movie, quoting the movie, and then it was very flattering. He goes, well, that was me, something about the fart, or something. He was quoting the movie. And how dare you?
Yeah.
He was quoting my line without knowing that I was the character. So that was, and I say, you didn't tell him, you must have told. No, I didn't. So that was very flattering. Yes.
Yeah. How was Robert Wagner?
Well, he took a little bit. He convinced the director to give him a little bit of a line that was supposed to be mine. I was very disappointed about that. I think it made sense that he would introduce me, but I think the line was mine the first time. My name is Alora Vagina, and then he would go, come again, and and then I would say a lot of it, but the whole line was. But I think he convinced the director that he should be introducing me, and he got my line. Other than that, of course, yes, he's.
Yeah, I remember Larry Thomas played the blackjack dealer. Everybody knows him as the soup Nazi on Seinfeld, and he's got that great, he's got that great voice. I suggest you hit, sir.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
A lot of cameos on that movie too. Some of them I don't even know if they ended up.
Tom Arnold.
Wasn't Rob Lowe in it too?
Who?
Rob Lowe.
He actually got cut out of that one, but of course,
okay.
He's the young number 2 in the sequels, though.
Oh, okay. So he got cut out of there were a few cameos in the first one.
Tom Arnold. Oh God, so many people. There's a lot of people in the first one.
A lot of people showing up, yes, and maybe in the other ones too. But yeah, too bad villains don't come back. Otherwise, too bad villains get. Yeah. So.
I know they should have brought back you. They should have brought back the Irish guy who gets drowned in the toilet.
In the second one.
In the first one.
Oh yeah. Yes. Well.
That would have been great. Do you have a good story about Rodney Dangerfield on The Godson?
had a little trouble with the. He's a natural actor, so he didn't think learning with his lines. But he's just so funny anyway. So there were some, So he had some very funny. Dom DeLuise, too. So many people passing away. You're making me a little sad today. But that was a fun shoot, and the casting director, Greg Campobasso, also we stayed friends. A wonderful, wonderful man, and we stayed friends. He posts pictures of that shoot with Dom, and that bring back nice memories. So I'm able to keep that a little fresher in my mind. Yeah, that was fun.
And there's another Re-Animator connection, Barbara Crampton.
Right.
She did the first one.
Yes.
And she did a movie with Kathleen Kinmont where they played two bimbos, a movie called Fraternity Vacation. And Barbara will not talk about it, but Kathleen will.
She doesn't want to talk about it? There's very little you can hide right now with the internet. I remember running into Nastasia and I said, hey, how are you? Do you remember? And she didn't want me to mention that we had done that movie together. And I go, well, it's not that you can keep it a secret. I don't have to mention it. But we worked together a long time ago. We're not going to say what. But she, and it's like everything is, you can find out a lot about people, and there's very little you can hide. Some of my colleagues try to change their age.
Yeah.
And it works for a little bit, and then, or they have their age, what they want it to be in their own websites, and then there's IMDb that actually most of the time is on the nose. And so what's the point in lying to yourself that way? I mean, as a woman, I would love not to have to reveal my age until I choose to do so. But nowadays, with the IMDb, very few people can. So in a way, it's good. I never could lie about my age again. Last time I did I was 33. Mm-hmm. Last time I could lie about my age, I was 30. 33.
Let me tell you, Fabiana, I'm coming up on 900 interviews, and I have seen a lot of people hiding stuff. I have seen people, not wanting to admit that they were in something. I have seen people, just not want to talk about certain things. I've seen people lie to me on my interview with them and then tell the truth on another person's podcast thinking I'm never going to hear that one. And all of us podcasters, we all know each other and we all support each other.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Kinds of lies.
Oh, just...
I have some colleagues that do that with their age, and it maybe kind of works a little bit because most of the sites pop whatever they want to say, and then the IMDb, most of the times, don't you agree that they get it right? Or am I wrong about this?
Well, IMDb, they can be very inaccurate about certain things, but a lot of other things they can be right.
The age, talk about.
Yeah, sometimes that's just because the actor put it out there that they were born another year instead of the one that's on IMDb. It's a weird thing. But I've talked to some people who wish their age wasn't on IMDb.
I think all of us do. Because for several reasons, whether it's higher or lower, I mean, you don't want it to be there because you want the person that sees you to see you if they see even if you want to be older, it doesn't necessarily have to be that you want to play younger. Whatever it is that limitation of a number that will hinge, whatever. So we all wished, and as a woman, I wish it wasn't there. But I never was able to manipulate the internet. It's not my thing. And so I was never able, and then so I accepted it. Last time, as I said, I was dating a man that was 2 years younger, or 3 years younger than I was. Mm-hmm. I wasn't used to that. Generally, my first husband was older, so I wasn't. So when we met, he said, I'm 30, and I was 33 at the time, and I said, me too. And so that stuck, and it was a while ago. So I was 30, and he was 30. We were the same age. So, and then he looks at the IMDb and goes, but it says here you were in 1964, not 68, or I thought And I go, and then it says born in Rome. See, well, that's BS. They don't even know that I was born in Buenos Aires. They know nothing. And I remember at the time writing and changing it, being able to change it for a little bit, and then they reverted back. They changed the Buenos Aires. They put it right, and they reverted the end. And that's when I stopped. I said, I'm not going to bother. And I remember trying to write a letter, don't put it out, and then since then I never bothered again. And it is what it is, both personally and professionally. So, but I think it is not a good thing to lie to yourself. To say, okay, I'm going to put 1968 on these, and then whatever other than this. What's the point? That's what I found a little bit painful for actors to have to put themselves through.
Yeah, I don't get that at all. It's weird. Is your birthday December 21st?
Yes.
That's my brother's birthday too.
Oh yeah, he's a Sag on the cusp.
Sagittarius Capricorn cusp.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm a Gemini. I just turned 37 a couple of weeks ago, or a month ago, I should say. June 6th.
What did you turn?
I turned 37.
37. Well, happy belated birthday, Gemini. You guys are.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
My goodness.
I'm the oldest 37-year-old there is, though. I like all old classic stuff.
Okay.
So when quarantine isn't going on, are you still acting?
Last thing I did was a very nice recurring on Jane the Virgin. That was that's one of the most actually greatest sets with the executive producer and that I've worked on, and fun because you don't didn't get the script and didn't get to know what happened to your character until 2 days before, one day, the table read, basically like a few hours before the table read. So a lot of things happened, and it was like when I first did that first episode, and I played Raphael's mom. I never knew that I was going to become the villain, Muta, and this crime lord and all of that. I didn't know that. So when I got the call that it was all secretive, and I got to meet with the executive producer, Jenny, and she told me, don't tell anybody, but you're going to be the person behind the crime and the villain and all of that. And she told me this. She gave me some outline of what they wanted for the character to be, but she said, don't tell anybody. For a while, it was just Raphael's mom, and then it gets revealed that I'm a villain, and so nobody knew, and it was nice to have that secret. And so they would ask me, so are you coming back? And I knew I had more episodes to shoot, and I go, I don't know. You guys know, you're the regulars. You should tell me. So it was kind of neat to come up to see what would happen. Keeps you on your toes and keeps you creative, and not too set on your choices because you never know. So all that. It was a really, really good, really great actors on that series as well, from Gina to Justin. Really, really, really good actors. So the writing was wonderful, and the different colors that show has is wonderful as well. Yeah. Well, having had a background in soaps, it was nice to be on that show. Yes. So hopefully more to come.
I hope so too. After all this craziness is over.
Right.
I'm so worried about the future of entertainment and Comic-Con and HorrorCon and all that stuff. It's just, it's sad.
It is. It is strange, and just already with the self-tapes. Coincidentally, before the beginning of the lockdown, on March 12th, I fell from my scooter following son on rollerblades, and I broke my wrist. So I had it bad for a month there. I had that surgery So I'm very lucky to have come out of all this, and with a functioning right hand and COVID-free. Nothing happened to me, so very fortunate. It was very hard, but then, like about a month into it, I started getting all of these requests for auditioning and self-tapes, which I didn't turn down. It was my way of, it was hard to put makeup on. It was hard, but going to the future of entertainment, all this, you get all these requests of self-tape. So you have to tape yourself doing the audition at home. And it's not my favorite thing to do. One of the reasons I love acting is because you let go. You get prepared, and then you have that release of you let go. When you do it at home, when you do it yourself, well, there's all of these things that you want to make sure that you semi-professional, the look, the way you look, the lighting, the sound, the phone, that you'd rather not have to worry about. So it would be like you're directing yourself. If you like doing that, I love acting because I get lost in the process and I forget all my worries. I forget since I was a little girl, any problems, and I get lost in whatever, don't think about anything else. But when you have all of these other things to think about, that's a little bit harder. On the other hand, then you get to see what you did, you get to do it better, you get to do it a million times before you submit it, you know exactly what you did. So it gives you more control. But it's weird. It's not as fun. You get more control. There are good things. You always want to look at the positive side, but it leaves you a little like you didn't. No release, no release, no climax, it's just you do it all yourself and you submit it and you do it online and there's no contact and so on. You lose a little bit of that just addictive quality of being an actor. It's a job. It was a job. Putting myself on tape for this last 3, 4, 5 auditions that I did during the lockdown, it was a job. More of a job than an audition, which is the hardest part of I find of my business, is to audition for things, the most uncomfortable one, and doing it at home is even worse. So hopefully we'll get a handle on the United States. We're looking pretty bad out there. You has singled us out with Brazil and Russia, rightly so because of the numbers.
Right.
Hopefully, yes, we can only hope things will get better. We have an election coming up. We got a lot of things that we can do as citizens of the United States.
Yes, everyone's just got to friggin' concentrate and vote for the right person this time.
Right.
Well, Fabiana, thank you so much for coming on today. I hope this was all comfortable for you.
Yes, a lot of memories. A little nostalgic, which doesn't hurt. We just need a little bit of that Ennio Morricone soundtrack going through some of those memories, and then we can let them go and move on forward. Yes, and be in the moment, as they say.
Absolutely. And just, keep that pretty head up, and you will be back to work in no time.
Yes. Hopefully I'll come back on your show talking about a new project.
That would be great.
But something from the past, since you like the past so much. Something inspired from the past that is new. You can kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Absolutely. Well, you have yourself a great rest of your day, and I will tag you on Twitter when I get this uploaded in a little while.
Oh, great. So I can see it, can listen to it.
Of course.
Okay. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, there you have it. Fabiana Udenio. Ain't she a sweetheart? Oh, what a nice lady. She is truly a gem. I like her a lot. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Add me as a friend on Facebook. Join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past. because the president sucks. Later, dudes.